how to practice devotion in God in daily life. Devotion in God is our main subject. If by practicing devotion in God, we start realizing it, and when we experience devotion in God, then we cannot say it. If you are trying to say it, it will be incomplete. But still we have our habit to say something. It is important to say, but we cannot say clearly, exactly. At the same time, then how to express presence of God? Then our walking style, working style, vision, hearing, taste, touch, smell, all changes. If there are two kind of persons, one is having perfect devotion in God and experiencing God, that person will also work like others, but that working style will be different. As Gandhiji was working, Jesus was working, in the same way all are working, but working is different. Therefore, try to understand how to experience presence of God in daily life. Let us think like this. We have willpower. What is that will? That will is presence of God. But that will is very little. All right, connect that will with the infinite reservoir of the will. Let us imagine if you are dreaming and your power has become dog and your power is given power to dog to bark, and dog is barking, but willpower dog is limited. The dog is concentrating on bhumad, watching breath, feeling head and spine, sitting like this and meditating, connecting his willpower to willpower of dreamer. The same dog behavior will change. Exactly in the same way, will is called presence of God, maybe our limited will, and how to connect our limited will with the unlimited will of God. For this you have to concentrate on Bhumad. What is the meaning of Bhumad? When you are eating the food, tasting the food, you are hearing something, you are touching something, you smell something, then increase awareness to locate, try to locate position of Bhumad. At the same time, head and spine. At the same time, breath. Then you will realize our will which we were using to eat food, fruits or anything, that will is connected with the infinite reservoir of will. Then our eating style will be normal. If will is small and weak, then it works as hyperactivity or depressive. Hyperactivity means then we will overeat. Depressive means now we will not eat. We need to eat, but we are not eating. Therefore, all the time, when you locate Bhumad, when you are eating, or writing, or listening, doing any activity, never forget position of Bhumad. Try to feel it. Bhumad, head and spine. Then start eating process. Then you will not overeat, you will not undereat. In eating you will not have hyperactivity, you will not have depressive activity. This is how to use presence of God when we are eating the food. When we are eating, and during eating there is just lunch and for discussion, supper for discussion, let us breakfast meeting, lunch meeting, in that people used to talk. Therefore, when you are talking, when you are eating at that time, you cannot increase awareness of Bhumad. You cannot observe your breath. You cannot locate head and spine. Then we will overeat or we will undereat. Underfeeding, overfeeding, both are unnatural. You can do experiment this every day. Let us have conversation. Generally we have lunch session. There we are going to have meeting in the lunch. Our meeting during supper, our breakfast meeting. In that we used to talk. Therefore we are discussing some subject. When we start talking to somebody, that person start asking question in between. Or I am talking something to you, then I am going to impose my law on you forcefully. If I am going to impose my law on you forcefully, remember, at that time when I am speaking to you, my concentration will not be on Brahmad. If I am not aware of breath, Brahmad, head and spine, then when I am saying something, I will try to impose my law forcefully. That is not good. And when you are listening it, your attention is not on Brahmad, your Brahmad. You are not watching your breath. You are not feeling your head and spine. Then in between, you will be hyper. During listening, you will try to understand. Then you will ask question in between. Or you will have little fear that after when you are listening, you will forget it. Better to ask question now. Therefore, how to feel presence of God in daily life? The very deep subject. This is, you can say, when you have entered into the university to learn this subject, how to feel presence of God in daily life. This is the beginning. Have awareness of Brahmad and breath, head and spine. Then try to listen, try to talk. When you are eating, when you are touching something, when you are walking, you are thinking, you are using your logic. This is called just entering into this subject, which is called devotion in God. When we have traditional devotion in God, offering the flowers, offering the fruits, offering the money, now all have stopped. This is called now, with the grace of Mahatar Babaji, we are entering into a new phase of human living. This is called the scientific devotion in God. Therefore, we should start from today. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I think will take 2 days to explain this structure about the self. Moment you will understand it, then you will know better way how to use yourself and how to increase devotion in God when you are working. This is for now. Let us bow down to our devotion in this fellowship and devotion in क्रिया का मेडिटेशन. क्रिया योग में अपनी भक्ति को नमन करें, इस सत्संग सभा को नमन करें.